Hi guys, so the weekend is finally here, and yeah, I've had a bit of a rough old time just recently, but that's what this is for. So to kick me off, I'm going to be having a bit of an owl specialty, a bit of a nightmare porter. So nice 5% flavoured 4 malt porter. So yeah, I love my dark beers. It's got to be dark for me. So yeah, this is going to be just right for kicking me off for this nice weekend, hopefully. So let's give it a go because I've not tried it before. Yeah, it's all right. It's all right. It's not the best port I've had. It just tastes like a very supermarket average one. But well, I mean, it was from the supermarket, but still, it's all good. So cheers, guys. And yeah, what a flipping pickups video I've got for you today. Well, at least for me anyway. 2 games that are absolute flipping belters in the PS2 world, and just a load of games that are there for me to play. So for me, that's like a win-win for a pickups video. So yeah, first up, I thought I'd do a bit of a pickups, a bit of a shout out. I've not done a shout out for a couple of weeks, so I thought I'd do a couple ones that I've been watching. So Sega of my house, or Sega of my house, as he is known in his native land of Australia. So yeah, he's been someone I've been watching for years. I first got into him because he had a fucking epic PlayStation 2 collection. So yeah, that's how I found him. I think I was just doing PlayStation 2 collection video searches, and he was one of the first ones to come up. So it was good to find him because he's a PAL collector, even though he's from Australia, and he does exactly what I do. He's a bit younger than us, well, me, but yeah, he's very much entrenched in the whole collecting thing. He's out all the time going to the op shops, which are like charity shops for you and us Brits, and buys and sells so he can buy the stuff that he actually wants. So it's great watch. Don't be put off by his prices. Don't forget when he says like something's like $100, that's not 100 American dollars, that's 100 Australian dollars. So it's about 50 quid or something. So it's about, just drop it down by half. So yeah, go over and say hi. Awesome guy. He does all right for himself with his subs and everything. So he's not like a small channel or anything. He's just probably not as known in the UK scene maybe. And next up, another guy that I've just been watching quite a lot of just recently. I've been binging him, as you would say, and that's Goodwins Place. He is someone that he kind of tinkers around with stuff as well as buys and picks up stuff, and he's starting to do pick up and play. So he's buying a game and playing it before he puts it on the shelf, which is a brilliant idea. I just still don't. Maybe if I start doing that, you might realize how many games I'm actually getting and might slow me down. But I mean, it won't. So yeah, Goodwin's Place, awesome. He's got a project there that he's just recently done that I want to copy as well. So yeah, awesome guy. So that's Sega of my house and Goodwin's Place. So yeah, what have I been picking up? Right, so a bit of the old sippage first. First up, we're gonna go. It's all PlayStation stuff. We're gonna go PlayStation 1, PlayStation 2, skip PlayStation 3, although I've got a couple of Blu-rays, and then we're gonna go for an epic PlayStation 4 haulage. So I'm gonna go first with the PlayStation 1 stuff because I know some of you guys don't really like the PlayStation 4, but so I'll leave that to the end. So right, what have we got? So a couple of games on the recommendation of Craig's here again. So he's having a bit of a clear out of his PlayStation 1 stuff, and he's been playing shitloads of PlayStation 1 games to see what is good. And he's given me a couple of recommendations from his recent playings. So first up, we have got a Taito game, Power Diggers on the PlayStation 1. Now this looks flipping amazing. So this is sort of like an arcade style JCB Diggers game. Now it looks like it should be bad. In fact, yeah, it looks terrible by the cover. It looks like some kind of kids game, but Craig's assured me this is absolutely fantastic. It's sort of, well, as I say, it's very arcadey, and you can actually buy an arcade controller to actually play this how it should be played, really, like you are playing in the arcades. But I think that controller only works for this game, and it's absolutely ridiculously expensive, and it's for the play. It's only came out in Japan, but yeah, really looking forward to playing that one eventually. Next up, we have got Fyro and Claude. Fyro and Claude. I don't know. I'm not too sure exactly how you pronounce this, but this looks really good. I actually thought this was a different game. I thought this was some kind of platforming game that looked a bit cheap and tacky, but it's not. It's sort of like an isometric run and gun shooter. So you're a couple of anamorphic animals that are kind of, I think, the crime fighters or something. So it looks really, really interesting. The art style has really intrigued me. And this has got a flipping manual that you could actually kill someone with. It's flipping huge. Look at it. I don't think you really need all that. But in fact, that's the English, and then that's the other languages. So yeah, really looking forward to giving this one a blast soon. And as well, it's got the old sticker from the shop that it was bought in. So it was bought in Fair Game, Bracknell, Crawthorne. I don't even know where that is. So if anyone knows where that is, if you went shopping there, that'd be cool. So yeah, sippage. Sorry guys, I had to go kick them out. There was a flipping doing my head in. Right, so what I was saying before was rudely interrupted. I'll just do it again. Yeah, so not games per se. Bit of a tooty little tip here, really. I'm sure he's already done this anyway. But yeah, after watching Lewis Wishwash's videos about his Sega Saturn discs bending, I thought, I'm not even going to take a chance, you know. I don't have mine stored sideways anymore. I used to have a couple like that. But as I say, I'm not taking a chance anymore. And I bought these. So these are just little sleeves, so you can put the discs in. So because the Sega Saturn's really terrible for how they hold the discs, the power ones at least anyway, I thought it would be very good to put them in these and give them that little bit of protection, really. So that's what I'm going to be doing this weekend. I'm going to be filling the discs up with these. So yeah, nice bit of protection there. And I think these cost me like £2 or £3 posted for 50 of them. So yeah, I think that should be enough. I think I've got about 30 PAL Dreamcast Sega Saturn games. So yeah, that's them. Next up, right, okay, we are on heavy hitter territory here. Oh, sip. Sip for the heavy hitters. Right, so first up, these games I can't believe I've got in my collection. I'm just looking at them now and I'm shocked, to be honest. We could probably insert this here. Welcome to the subset zone. Get ready. Yes, subset time. Subset of the PlayStation 2. I said I wasn't going for any more subsets, and that is majority because of this one game. And that game is Ocean Commander for the PlayStation 2. Now this actually ticks off two things off subsets. The first one is the PlayStation 2 shooter collection, or the shmups. So this is a very basic, but it looks actually better than what I thought. Actually, the back screenshots actually look better than what I'm sure I've seen. But yeah, this is a shmup for the PlayStation 2, and the subset in question, what I was originally going for, is the Phoenix games. So before I went on the 505 journey, I actually thought I'd be able to go do the Phoenix games, but the games are getting so ridiculously expensive, and they're all terrible. At least with the 505 games, they've got playability in them games, so they feel worthwhile to get. Whereas the Phoenix games, I don't know. And this one is the one that's on the top tier. I know that Psyched guy, the guy from Australia, we're talking about Australia again, he's going for a full PAL PlayStation 2 set, and he recently picked this up for 600 Australian dollars. So yeah, that was ridiculously expensive, although that was the UK one, and I've cheated and I've gone for the Italian one. I would rather save 250 quid and buy the Italian one, and the Italian one isn't easy to get either, really. I got this for a bargain. I've seen it go for at least double, maybe even triple, even for Italian, for what I paid for this. And I really put it down to the coronavirus. When I got these two games for the PlayStation 2, it was just as the coronavirus was getting announced, and there was all the talks of furlough. It wasn't quite in there yet, but I think it panicked people at that point. And these big hitter kind of games, at least ones that wasn't so well known, like the Super Nintendo stuff like that, people wasn't bidding on them. And I had these two games in my search history for years, and then all of a sudden they both popped up for great prices. So yeah, I put bids in for this, and I won it for like 60 quid posted from Italy, I think it was. So absolutely buzzing to get this. So yeah, I thought this actually finished off my shooter collection for the PlayStation 2. I thought this was the last one I needed, but there is unfortunately another freaking Phoenix game, but obviously it's not as rare as this, so I can get it. There's multiple copies on eBay. It's just getting the one at the right price, really. So yeah, double subset collection. And I guess this in effect is, oh my goodness, I'm buzzing with this one. This is my holy grail. This was my holy grail PlayStation 2 game. I never thought this would be in my hand. And yeah, this will cap off a little subset. Get ready. That people probably wouldn't think of a subset, really. It's kind of, it's a forced one, if that makes sense. But yeah, it's the anthology subset. So now I have got all the games that end with anthology on the PlayStation 2. Not all of them are all by the same manufacturers. So it's kind of like, it's not really a subset as per such. It's just that the fact they've all got anthology in them. And if anyone has guessed by now, I don't know. Has anyone guessed? That'd be quite interesting to see. The game in question is Sengoku Anthology. Oh, this is I would say this is on par with Gun Club, although I do see this more often than Gun Club. This is definitely, I would say, the most expensive general PlayStation 2 game. The reason why I say general is because it's a mixed language one. It's UK, French and German. That's the only way I think you can get it. I don't think there's any other languages. This is the only way. There's no just English, there's no just French. Usually if it's just English, like the Rule of Rose, that will be more expensive than this. But this tends to go, the one that sold before this sold for 260, 270 quid, and that wasn't sealed. I didn't even break 200 quid with this one. It was just below 200 quid, and that was posted from France, which is generally where you find these. You don't usually see these pop up in England. So yeah, it's English first, French, and then German. So absolutely buzzing to get this. This is sealed, which is the only downfall for this one, because I would actually want to play this. So this is free SNK fighters. In fact, I probably got them somewhere on a collection somewhere. I know Al's got the SNK PlayStation 4 set. Is any of the Sengoku games on there? Let me know. Let me know. But yeah, this is the most This is the most I've ever spent on a game, peripheral, anything. In fact, yeah, I think even my Virtual Boy, which was probably the most expensive before that, probably was about the same as this game. I think them two probably on par with each other as the most I've ever spent on anything video game related. So yeah, crazy prices, but one that I suppose I've got a decent PlayStation 2 collection, so that prestige is just good enough. I know Mark Burnt Out Culture used to have this. I don't know if he still has, actually. Do you still have this, Mark? Give us a show of it in your garage if you can, because yeah, I would love to see that you've got it still. That would be good. So yeah, I need to get a burnt copy of that somehow so I can play it on the old McBoot. So after all them big hitters there, I need another drink. I'm thirsty. It's getting warm. It's warm these days again. It was a bit rainy, wasn't it, the other day? Now it's starting to become nice again. Right, so that's my older games, I'd say, my more retro stuff. We're now going to go into a couple of Blu-rays, and yeah, we're going to be showing them together. Why not together? Because they're all together. And that's the Dead Space movies. So these are manga movies, manga films, which I thought manga was the comic books and anime was just an animated version of it, but I guess it originated as a comic book. I'm assuming, I think that's what it means. So yeah, Dead Space obviously is a game. So these are stories before the actual game kicks off. So it kind of tells you what what's it called, the Nakamura, the USG Ishimura. That's it, the spaceship that everything happens on. This tells the story of how it became so isolated and why there's so many zombies there, or whatever you want to call them. Great films. This is no, that's the second one. This is the first one. Absolutely belter, this one. This one's not quite so good. It's still good. It tells like the story just after this, because it gives you a bit of a cliffhanger at the end of this, but this kind of goes a bit away from it. It's got some really cheap 3D graphical animation CGI, which is blended in. So it has like that scene where like characters are all CGI, and then it'll go into like the past where it'll be then animated the exact same as this, and the animations of that were beautiful. So it's a bit of a shame, really, because it does kind of like kick you out. You feel like you're watching multiple kind of things. So I guess they lost the budget a little bit halfway through making that. But yeah, I really recommend getting these if you can. I think there was about $5 for both of them from eBay. So yeah. Next up, it's the PlayStation 4 games. And first up, we're going to kick off with the Ninja Saviors. So I finally got it. Everyone else has probably got this already. We're already on another Taito game. And yeah, I remember this vividly from the arcades back when I was a youth. Back in Blackpool, there used to be a little arcade in between the actual main site and the caravan site. I suppose it was over the road from the main site of Blackpool, and it was near the BMX track, if anyone remembers that. And that arcade used to be one of the better ones in Butlins and Blackpool. Did I say Blackpool? Skegness. Butlins and Skegness. I need some more of this. That's what it is. Helps the brain cells fire better, doesn't it, really? But yeah, this used to be there, and it used to have a free screen. And I used to not really like it because it just sounded weird. It was just like you're just a ninja walking along hitting people. And do you know what? I love the art style of this. It looks flipping beautiful, but I just don't know if I can play it properly. I can't beat the first boss. It's just killing me every time. And I think when you're a ninja, I think it's a bit of a shame that as soon as you start walking and you hit someone, you stop walking. What ninjas cannot walk and hit people at the same time? Their skills as a ninja is terrible, and I think that's what kills it for me a little bit. So it's very cool in the fact it's got a proper manual, nice colourful manual. What have we got in here? Stickers, beautiful set. So, and then a little poster. So this cost me about 12 quid. Most of these games here now came from the game collection. And yeah, 12 quid, and it's not the limited run, what's it called, strictly limited. It's just the standard release one. So yeah, really cool. So happy to get that. Oh, these two are eBay purchases. We'll carry on with the game collection games. So next up, we've got Zone of the Enders. So I've got this on the PlayStation 2, the Xbox 360, and now the PlayStation 4. And I've still not played it yet, any of them. Not even the first one, and I really want to, because it's what's his name? The guy who does Metal Gear Solid. He went and made this mech game, which looks absolutely fantastic. But what sold this for me is the fact it's VR compatible, so I can play this in VR if I ever get around to doing it one day. So yeah, it looks beautiful, and it's got a cool slipcover, and I think this cost me like 7 quid. So yeah, I've been looking for this for ages, but I didn't want to pay too much because the fact that I've got so many copies of it. And next up, another game that was cheap. I think this was like 4 quid. And it's only just come out as well, which is really shocking, really. Everywhere I've seen it, it's usually around 10 quid. So yeah, the game in question is Alterno Blade 2. So I think the first one's a PC only release. And this is basically a Metroidvania that goes from 2.5D, where it's like all 3D models on a 2D plane, into like actual 3D fighting. So yeah, it looks really cool. It's not going to be the best game I've heard, because I think it's been made by a developer of like 4 people, but I kind of like them. I like them like kind of underdogs of games, really. So yeah, really looking forward to playing this. And for £4, I mean, you're not going to go wrong, are you, really? So next up, right, so we've got Contra Road Corps. Anyone recognise this cover? So yeah, I picked this up. I've been wanting this for a long time, but I was watching Craig Super Quintendo, and he picked this up recently. And what I didn't know is that this has a reversible cover. So as most people have seen it as, it looks like this, which looks absolutely boring and drab and everything. And this looks so much better. Yeah, he picked it up, opened it up, and spun it around, which, yeah, that just made me go straight to it and buy it. The game itself looks like a fairly decent dual stick shooter, which obviously isn't a Contra game, and because of that I think it's got a few bad reviews. But I love twin stick shooters, so I think this is going to be quite a good game for me. I've just got to think of it not as a Contra game. So yeah, looking forward to actually playing this eventually. And now I've got the cool front cover on the front of it. So yeah, cheers to the heads up on that one, Craig. Next up, we have got a game that I've been very interested in for quite some time, but the gameplay has always kind of put me off a little bit. But again, I got this for £10, I think. So, and this, again, all these are all from the game collection. And the game is Dragon Quest Builders. So I love the Dragon Quest games, and I love the spin-off games. This looks absolutely great visually, but what's put me off about it is it's sort of an RPG meets Minecraft, and the Minecraft bit puts me off really so much. But what I've heard is a lot of people who don't like Minecraft have also said the same, but when they've actually gone into actually playing it, they've really liked it. So I'm hoping that'll be the same for me. But it's another one of them games that's like about 30-40 hours to complete, so you're gonna need to like it. But I mean, I just love the graphics, the visuals and everything Dragon Quest, so hopefully that will just keep me going. So there is a sequel as well, which I probably won't get unless it's really cheap, because I imagine I'll probably get to the end of this and not want to play anything else like it again. But you never know, do you, really? So next up, we've got 2 more games left, so not much longer. Hopefully this was a quick video. I don't know how long I've been whittering on for. Next up, again, I was watching one of Lewis's Wishwashers videos, and he picked up this recently, and he just completed, and he said it was really good. I've had this on my view for quite some time, and that game is One Piece World Seeker. So what I've heard is this plays very similar to Spider-Man, the PlayStation 4 version, except obviously in an anime world. And now I've just completed Spider-Man, and I really liked it. I enjoyed it, but I didn't love it. Not like some people. Again, I think it's very Marmite for people. I think the problem with Spider-Man is it's a pretty good game, except it's played very safely. So there is nothing too out there in the game. It just plays exactly how you expect what you've seen. There's no twists or turns. There's nothing too crazy with the story. It's very vanilla. So I'm hoping if this is very similar to that, this won't be quite so vanilla, and it'll have that little bit of extra excitement. So I'm looking forward to playing this. I do like the One Piece, the look of the One Piece games and everything. So last game, we've got another PlayStation 4. Oh yeah, I got this from Argos eBay, I think it was, for I think £12. So happy to get that. And then a game from eBay for £10. I got True Burbrook. So what is this game? This is a point and click game. So this is sort of like the Monkey Islands or something, but very modern, a modern style version of it. So it's like playing Aardman animation directed by David Lynch. And what I mean by the Aardman animation is the fact all these worlds, all the characters, all the sets, everything that you see isn't CGI. It's all been made, handmade. So they've made handmade sets for all of the places, all the locations. And because of that, it gives it a very unique look. And it looks absolutely beautiful. I'm sure I've found some footage to put up there. Yeah, it looks stunning, but I've heard it can get a bit tricky and gets a bit too out there with some of the things that you need to do. So yeah, I think this is going to be a game that's going to be needed with a guide. But I'm really looking forward to playing this. It looks very cool, very cool. So it's, I suppose it's the modern day claymation, like the Clay Fighters and Primal Rage, but done like this. So yeah, looking forward to it. So as I say, all these games will be getting played at one point. I've actually watched these. Crazy, isn't it? I've actually watched something, and yeah, these are just absolute stunners in my collection. I'm so pleased to get these. So yeah, go check out Sega of My House and Goodwins Place, and yeah, I'll see you on the next one. Cheers, bye.